go. All right, here we are. We have, from our last step, we've left the sourdough in the fridge, and now we've taken it out. And as you can see, it's actually risen a little bit, but I mean, the coldness of the fridge does inhibit it. So what Bailey's going to do now is she's just going to plop it out onto some parchment paper. Okay, and she's just going to gently jiggle it. So if you floured it correctly, and I've been getting a lot of questions from my fans about, you know, what happens if it sticks to the bowl. Well, what you need to do is you need to flour it. There we go. And then once it's floured, you can see just a gentle vibrating motion is going to get it out of there. So now, and this is exactly what we want it to look like. You'll notice that it's actually, the dough is strong. It's actually making it stand up pretty high. If this dough was to really flatten out, that means you've over or under proofed it, right? Because it either hasn't built up strength or it's been too depleted. This actually is a pretty good looking one. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use this thing called a lom. You can just use a razor blade or even a sharp knife if you really don't have something like this fancy device. And we're gonna cut it right down the middle. Now, we're gonna probably cut it a little bit more. So we're just gonna, this is Bailey's first time doing it. So, and a little bit more, especially deeper on the side, a little deeper, just a touch deeper. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. And so what we're going to do is this is just basically a place to release the steam so that we get some nice. So you want to be more bold with your strokes. So just kind of, yeah, not too deep, but very bold though. Okay, so like a nice bold stroke here. I'll show you what I mean, like that, right? Like that. Perfect. Okay. All right, and so then we're good. So what this is going to do is it's going to help us let the steam rise and give us the nice oven spring. It also looks very beautiful. You don't have to do this step, and you also don't have to use this pattern. There's lots of different patterns, and it's a bit of an art of its own to do this. But now what we're going to do is we have a preheated oven at 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and you can see the Dutch oven that we're going to use is been inside there. So obviously we want to use our gloves. We're going to close the oven back up to keep the heat. We take the lid off, put it on a surface. Here we're going to just use the stove. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to, and you can see what we've done is we've used the parchment paper underneath it. And that's actually going to facilitate the transfer to and out of the Dutch oven. So don't bother doing that. You'll just create a problem. So Bailey was just trying to adjust it. We won't bother trying to do that. We just want to plop it in the center if we can. But if it's not in the center, no problem. And now we're going to pop it right inside this hot Dutch oven. Okay, and try and get it in the middle. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So you can see here, we're just going to adjust the paper, maybe just move it over a little bit, just try and put it in the middle, but otherwise it's looking good. Lid goes back on. Don't forget to put your oven mitts back on because it's super hot. Lid goes back on. In the oven it goes at 500 degrees with the lid on. Again, using this Dutch oven, and you'll see that in lots of sourdough videos and stuff, creates basically a steam oven. So we're going to set the timer for 21 minutes. Again, this will vary from, you know, place to place, but I found 21 minutes, so that's 20 seconds, so probably not quite long enough. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set timer 2. Yeah, that's good enough, and we'll go okay, and then we'll clear the other timer, and that's it. So now we're ready to stop for now.